Do we like the blurred background? Nah.
Okay.
I don't got nothing to hide.
DH, you're going to have to do that. You know me. Even though I'm running this thing, I get to see nothing.
Yes, you are. The meeting is being live streamed. You're good there.
Okay.
I'm waiting for it
I
to
don't
come
want
live
that.
here.
Maybe I should do
Meeting
it
is
from my
live.
couch. Oh, it's live now?
You're
No,
good.
you're fine.
You're good.
We've been
You
goofing
are.
around for 10 minutes with the TikTokers live, so you're fine. Do whatever you want to do. All
You
right.
can see the guitars now at least. It's like I
There
actually
you go. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, we're going to talk about that, all that stuff. She's got a wide variety of different things I think you can play. I seen you with a little dobro, I think, or maybe that wasn't a dobro. That's how much I know music. So I butchered that up, I'm sure. It may
I don't
not
even
be
know what a dobro is. What's a dobro?
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. See, I don't even.
So you know more than me, really.
Oh, okay. Okay. No,
I know what
I,
it is, DC.
I,
A dobro is when
did
you
I
want to
get that
borrow
right?
money from a friend. You go up, hey,
Hey,
give me
dough.
some
Yeah.
dough, bro.
Give me some dough, bro. That's what it
Yeah.
was. Yeah, maybe that's what I was thinking.
Yes,
of.
a dobro is. Yes, that is an instrument.
Yeah, it's not a mandolin. Is it in that same family?
It's
though?
in that same, yes.
Oh,
Okay.
are you talking about the banjo lately?
Didn't you have something? This was a while back on a YouTube video. I seen you playing. It was something a little smaller than.
Yeah, banjo lately. I'll show you.
Okay, so I was far off. It's not a dobro, but anyway, there you go. All right, so we're good to go.
We
You're
are
connected with
good. We
YouTube?
are up.
This is a
Okay.
banjo and a
Not a
ukulele.
dobro, but okay. That was my next guess. I was going to say
Uh,
baby banjo.
A
Yeah.
dobro
That's how much I know.
a dobro is actually a guitar by Epiphone.
Oh,
Okay,
it's
that's how much I know.
guitar.
There you
There
go.
you go.
So I wasn't even close. I wasn't even in the ballpark. But
Hey,
I
normal.
did have it right that it was a musical instrument.
Well, for some
A
people it
dobro.
is. For you, it's not.
No,
But for some people, it is.
No, it's not a musical instrument at all for me. But there you go. All right, we ready, my man?
We are ready. Let's get this one rolling.
All right, if you'll go ahead, I'll get her going here.
Let's get that intro going.
They grew up together. They played the same sports, attended the same schools, and now they even teach together. Live from Nashville, Tennessee, you are listening to the D&D Dynamite 80s podcast with your hosts, DC and DH.
All right.
Take it away. Give that guy a job.
Man, I tried to give him a job, but he wouldn't work. He only wanted to do one day. So I was like, no, he can't handle that.
Oh,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another episode of D&D Dynamite 80s. I'm DH.
I am DC.
And we're here to take another fantastic look at all things 80s.
Fantastic. Love
Yes,
it.
fantastic. Yes. DC, how's your week been, brother?
We're one day closer to being done with school, so you can't beat that.
I think I'm going to try to get it changed to year-round school so we can just keep
let's
going.
not do that.
I think we need to
drove
do
me
that.
out of my mind.
Oh, it's been a good week. Been a good week.
Yeah,
Man,
it
I am
has. It
excited
has.
about tonight's show. I've been watching some videos and stuff, and you're talking about a super talented individual.
Absolutely.
It's just amazing. So I'm going to throw it over to you for introductions there, and
You
we'll get
would,
this one
because
rolling.
I'm going to butcher her last name, but I'm going to try it anyway. Okay. Yeah, we are thrilled to have Julieann Bemis. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, I got it right.
You're like
Hey.
the first person ever.
I've been practicing that all day.
Oh, good. Somebody's been
I've
practicing.
been back and forth. Is it Bemis? I'll go in with Bemis. I kept talking myself into it. All right. But anyway, yeah, great to have you on the show tonight. She's with a tribute band called Jett, Headz.
That's an awesome name, by the
You're
way.
darn right it was.
That is so
Whoever
cool.
put that together had the right idea. But it's obviously, and she's rocking it tonight, the Joan Jett tribute. And like DA said, fantastic, just amazing,
Yes.
amazing talent.
Very talented.
And you talking about pulling that particular performance off, I haven't seen one, I don't think, any better. So, hey, Julieann, how are you?
Hi there. Thanks so much for having me on tonight.
Oh, our pleasure. Our
I'm
pleasure.
super excited to be here and talk about, my favorite, my
Yeah.
my idol really is Joan Jett. I'm so honored to be able to embody her and bring her music to to everybody I can. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, super happy to be on the show tonight, and yeah, let's get rolling.
All
So,
right.
so
Sounds
I
good.
have to, my first question, and I have to ask this because it's the first obvious question. With such a cool band name, how did that name come about? I mean, that is just like, that's one of those names when you hear it, you're like, oh man, that is so cool. Why didn't I think of that? That is so cool.
So the name comes from her fans. So our whole thing is
Mm,
we are a tribute band made by fans for fans. So if you're a Joan Jett fan, you are a Jett head. So
okay.
that's our whole thing. I didn't come
DH1
up for
Union.
it. The drummer in my band did, but yeah, that's the whole deal. We're
Okay.
we're a tribute band by fans for fans, paying homage to the original Riot Girl, the Queen of Noise herself, Joan Jett.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
I'm
got to
going to tell
ask
you, and
this. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was just going to say, she said, the Queen, I'm just going to tell you, her videos back in the day when they came out, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
when she came out with the I Love Rock and Roll video, you talking about iconic. I mean, that
Mhm.
just set the stage
Oh,
at that
still to
point.
this day.
Yes, yes.
No question about it. No. Yeah. Absolutely. I've got to ask this though. What? Obviously, you have kind of the look without actually dressing up. I think, like face wise and stuff, in the hair. So you don't have to do a lot of convincing, to pull this off. I don't think personally. But my question is, what made you do this? What made you get into wanting to do that? Was it just the love of of the idolizing her? Did that help promote it?
So I moved out to California 5 years ago from Arizona
Okay.
with, I was just dead set on starting a band. It's actually kind of funny. I always wanted to do folk and indie music, and then
Mm.
I joined this band. I saw an ad on Craigslist for a Joan Jett tribute, and I'm like, well, this could be fun. I love Joan Jett, and I auditioned and I
Mm-hmm.
got in. Funny part is I didn't really know how to play guitar. I knew like three or four chords,
Really?
and they're
Okay.
like, yeah, the bandmates were like, oh, well, you're in, but you have to learn guitar. And
No
little did I
pressure. Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
they had that ad out on Craigslist for almost 2 years before they
Oh,
found me,
wow.
because it's
It
really
was meant to
difficult to
be.
find
Yeah. Yeah.
a woman who not only
Sure.
sings but plays guitar. So,
Okay.
I had been trying to create a band for about 2.5 years. I moved in 2019, and then COVID hit, so I kind of crushed the dreams of
Yeah.
doing
Didn't get
music for
started.
a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
So in 2021, that's when, I saw that ad and I was like, all right, I'm gonna
Mm.
get back into it. So they had been waiting 2 years, with that idea for the band. And as soon as I got in, I'm like, wow, this is the real deal. I gotta learn. So I spent 6 months playing. I found a guitar teacher, and I've used the same vocal coach for about 4 years now, and I just spent all my time and energy learning the set list, which
Mm.
was about 15 songs by Joan Jett, and I learned how to play bar chords for this band.
I
So
see.
about
Okay.
and then we would meet up for practice once every 2 weeks, and then we had our first show. It was at a really small venue called the Doll Hut, and you know,
Yeah.
people seem to like us. Through a couple of trials, a couple different wigs, and just getting the whole look right. Here we are, gosh, 3 years later, playing bigger shows. We actually have a show this weekend in Lake Arrowhead at the Tudor
Sweet.
House. Shout out to Wolf Dog Productions for putting that on. We are opening up for Dead Man's Party. They are the premier Oingo Boingo tribute. And then there's also going to be a Pretenders tribute there called Pretending.
Wow. Okay.
So
Wow.
it's kind of
Cool.
funny. It's like I came to California trying to be a folk singer and ended up in punk rock. So,
You never know which way it'll turn. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
to me, music is just a big, beautiful journey, and it's my passion. And I'm just happy to get out there and play, no matter
Yeah.
what I'm
that's
doing.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Julian, one of the things that I like to ask is, who were some of your musical influences growing up? I mean, you kind of talked about a little bit of the indie sound and the folksy sound. So, who were some of your influences?
So growing up as a kid, my dad introduced me to a lot of music from the 60s and 70s. My number one inspiration is Janis Joplin.
Yes. Oh, amazing.
I love that bluesy voice, and I love her story too. Another big influence is Joni Mitchell, Jim
Okay.
Morrison from The Doors. I like Blondie a lot, Debbie Harry. Amy Winehouse was a big one. So, you know, there's so many, but yeah, particularly Janis Joplin, Joni Mitchell, Dolly Parton. Shout out to
Wow.
Tennessee.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a lot. My musical taste is just all over the board, you know. I'm all over the place. I love it all.
That's
Yeah.
You
awesome.
can't I don't like particularly one genre more than the other. There's music in all different genres that I do like. So,
And
Okay.
that's really cool. I mean, having said that, that's kind of the way I am. I mean, you may find me one day listening to Frank Sinatra, the next day I'm listening to some Muddy Water or some blues, and the
mm,
next day, I'm listening to heavy metal. It just, I mean, it's everywhere. And I think that's one of the cool things about the 80s, and one of the cool things that you help keep alive is that you give people that experience. Number one, for old people like us that were around in the 80s, you give us that kind of nostalgia. But for younger audiences, you kind of keep that music going as well.
yeah, I really love that. My favorite thing is, after a show, a little girl will come up to me and she'll be like so stoked and like, their parents will be like taking a picture with me and I get to be like an ambassador for 80s music to
Yeah.
introduce it to
Sure.
younger people. When we got to play the Orange County Fair one year, and that
Mhm.
was really fun. That was, I think, 22, summer of 22. And there's a bunch of kids there, and they're just like, they're starting a mosh pit to our music. I'm like, this is so cool,
Sure is.
So I'm happy to be a part of that.
I think one of the funniest things I ever heard of a young person say, it was when Ozzy did the duet with, is it Sly something? I don't
Sly?
remember. Some guy
Oh,
named
Post Malone.
Post Malone. That's it. Post
With the
Malone.
face
You were
tattoo.
Yes,
close.
yes.
Yeah,
I was close. So
yeah.
I heard I heard a kid say, "Man, Post Malone really found this artist who's amazing. His name is Ozzy Osbourne, and he's gonna be amazing." I thought,
Unbelievable.
oh wow, okay. Let
Unbelievable.
me
Yeah.
introduce you to
Yeah.
the dark
Let me
side of the
wake you up
moon.
there,
Let's,
kid.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that was just, but that's kind of, I mean, that's exactly what you're
Yeah.
doing. You're
Ozzy's been
reintroducing
doing it
that
more
'80s
than
music.
the postman was born, or whoever you said that was.
I couldn't even remember. I mean, and no offense, I'm sure he's great, but
I'm sure
I
he is
just
too.
I just don't
But
know him as an artist.
no,
But I'm sure he does a great job. He's sold more
no,
records than I have.
Speaking
correct.
of Ozzy Osbourne, that was my first concert when I was
Awesome.
12 years old. Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne and Rob
Okay.
Zombie.
Yeah, now that's a
So,
rocking concert. Yes.
Now
yeah,
that's a concert. That's a concert.
that
Yes.
I'll never
Wow.
forget that. Like,
Wow.
oh my gosh, yeah, I just ever since I think that was like what really corrupted me, as a
That
kid.
probably that probably would.
I went
Yeah,
from like
I could see
Disney
that. Yeah.
princesses to like, starting to wear all black all the time. And then, I'm a millennial, so I was really into the like emo, screamo scene.
Yes. Yep.
Mm.
So wearing dark makeup and,
Mm-hmm.
just became a
Wow.
punk rock kid very young because of bands like that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's
So,
funny. Um, I tell people that are my age that I'm in a Joan Jett tribute band, and they're like, "Who's that?" And I'm like,
That's what I was about to
I
say.
love rock and roll. And they're like, oh my
That lady.
God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody knows that song. So
Wow.
well,
she's
see,
got
Absolutely.
a lot of great songs. And
oh yes.
That's like one of the rock and roll anthems.
I
it
mean,
really is. Yeah. And it's
Yeah,
actually a
that's one of
cover.
those top 5 rock
well,
and
you,
roll
Yeah.
you
anthems.
need to you need to make sure your parents understand they did something right taking you to an Ozzy and
Darn tootin'.
Rob Zombie concert at that age.
That's
That is
awesome.
like
That's probably
amazing.
one of the best stories I've ever heard
Yeah, it's at
on this show.
11,
That's
rocking out.
fantastic.
Oh my God, yes.
I just
It was
hope
great.
I just hope Ozzy didn't like throw bats and stuff and scare you, like scare you to death.
I think it would be cooler if he
That'd be
did.
trauma.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
There you go.
Ozzy, he's Ozzy, but then Rob Zombie takes it to an even deeper level on
Yeah.
there. So, oh man,
Very
I've
true.
seen some of the movies he's producing. I mean, hey, he's an amazing person, but some of those movies, I'm like, oh, I don't even want to watch
It's
that.
a little too, a little too
It
dark and
scares
deep
me.
for me. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
The-
need to watch them still. I have not watched them yet, but definitely on
There,
my list, like
yes,
House of a Thousand Corpses and everything.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
you said with the band, is it the same lineup that started out? Is everybody the same? That
Oh, like the members of the
uh-huh.
band?
Yeah, yeah.
So no, that's always the tricky part about
Yeah.
being in a band is the revolving door of musicians.
Yeah.
Currently, we are on our fourth guitarist, our
Okay.
second bassist. The drummer and I are the original members of the band, but we are using a sub drummer this weekend. And then the old guitarist is gonna sub out for the new guitarist
Okay.
for a couple of
hey,
shows this summer. So, you know,
So you go through your
so
woes, just like regular members of the groups that we know,
yes.
where something happens or, a family, I want to do my own original thing. I want to do something different. I guess everybody goes through those hiccups. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, the original bassist in the band, Joey Ancona,
Mm-hmm.
was a huge mentor for me. He
Okay.
actually got me the guitar that I use today. It's an exact replica of Joan Jett's guitar. He
That's
made it
something.
Awesome.
Is
perfect.
that the one with
And
the peace symbol on it?
yeah, I'll show it to you in a
Okay.
minute. But
Yeah.
yeah, so he got me my
Mm-hmm.
guitar. He got me my first amp. He's a music teacher and a director at the School of Rock in
Oh,
Huntington
that's
Beach.
cool.
And we
Fantastic.
got to practice there. He made all the merch. I still hit him up to make posters sometimes. But when he left, I did take that really personal. I was
Mm.
really upset. But just because I loved him so much, I loved having him there in the band. But
Yeah.
our new bassist, our new bassist is also named Joey. Joey tells
Yeah.
he ended up being a great addition to the band, and he really rocks it out. He picked up so quick. Like the first practice with him, it was like, wow, you're in. You got this. And he's been a
Wow.
great friend,
Yeah.
and he plays in like three other bands, a Soundgarden tribute, a
Wow.
Sublime tribute, and our band. So,
He's very busy. Yeah.
with everything that happens, it's all meant to be. And
Mm-hmm.
um I'm just happy that we're still doing it 3 years later, and we got so much
Absolutely.
more to come, and I love what we do.
Yeah.
Now, Julianne, I'm going to ask, and I have to preface this question, okay? I know you have to exclude being on D&D Dynamite 80s because I know that's got to be like number
Oh,
one.
that's
But
made her
what is
bucket
the,
list.
yeah, I mean, that's got to be like the coolest. But I mean, what
Right.
is the next coolest thing you've done with the band? I mean, now I know D&D's up here, so we're just going to take that one off the board
Number
Right.
one.
Right.
Number
Right.
one.
and with a couple of zeros behind it, but we'll
Right.
take it. We'll take it.
Yeah, we'll
But
take
what is
that.
the coolest thing, as a performer that you've done with the band? Or
Oh
the
God.
coolest place you've played?
There's
Either
two
one.
that come to mind. One was called Sea Legs at the Beach. One of
That's a
our
cool
YouTube
name.
videos,
Yeah.
we got recordings of that whole
Mm-hmm.
set. It's a 30-minute set on our YouTube. That was amazing. We were playing on the beach. Like there was so many people there, and
Mm.
that was just a whole thing. I loved it. I would play on the beach every day. It's so peaceful. And then the second would be the Garden Amp in Garden Grove. There was about, I would say, 1,000 to 1,500 people there. It was an
Mm.
amphitheater.
Wow.
We are planning on playing there again, I believe, in August. So we have a few YouTube videos from that. That was a huge crowd, and just to hear everybody singing along to the songs,
Mm-hmm.
and also the bands that played with us that night. There was a Jimi Hendrix tribute. There was a
Wow.
Fleetwood Mac tribute. Oh gosh, it was amazing. Yeah, so I love it all. And I love the other tribute bands that I get to meet. You know, we're playing with one end of June. They're called Mood Lifters. It'll be our second
That's a
time playing
great
with
name.
them. They're a tribute to Rush, but
Mm.
they have a female lead singer. Her name is Rocky. Shout out Rocky. She is amazing vocally. So I'm really honored to play with them again too.
Well, maybe they'll do us the honor of having them on at some point. That'd be
I'll put in a
great.
good word for you.
Awesome.
Please
Hey, so
do.
far so good,
So,
DC. We're getting a good
yeah,
word.
yeah, that's it.
Hey, that's we'll take that. I mean, because usually by now our guests are like, "Oh my goodness, what am I
Yep,
doing now?"
yep. Now, it's interesting you say that because, once again, my mind is gone blank, but it's
That's
Heart
old
of,
age.
yeah, it is. It's Heart of Blondie, I think is the name of the tribute. Can't
Hmm.
remember the young lady I've been in contact back and forth with,
Oh,
but
Mindy.
she who?
Mindy. Yeah,
Oh,
we played
absolutely,
with
Mindy. Thank you.
that's our number one like top favorite band to play with.
Okay.
They
Yeah,
are so cool.
yeah,
Mindy is amazing at what
yep,
she does, and we just go together like
yeah. Well, she
like
put,
peas and carrots. We just
yeah,
go so well together. It's
well,
such a great
she,
double act,
yeah,
Blondie and Joe.
right.
Yeah.
And when you, let's see, how'd this go? When we originally had them booked, and they had something, they're out of town or something when it happened, that she put us on you. She gave the shout out for me to get in touch with you guys. So that's how that happened.
Hell
So there you
yeah.
go. There you go. But we do have Mindy coming back on. She's going to be
Yes.
on later on in the year. So we're tickled to finally get that date fixed and all that. Yeah, just a great person though. Yeah, thank you. I deal with so many different names
So
on it was driving me crazy. I couldn't
so
remember Mindy's name.
DC,
So
it's that time of the night for the most important question that Julieann will have to answer all night long.
okay.
Now, Julieann, I'm going to explain it to you, and then I'm going to be very quiet because DC, and I'm going to let him tell you who the participants are because he always says I try to influence everybody. Okay, and I really don't, but we're going to go with this. Okay.
Well, first of all, before you start influence, this is what the winner gets.
Yeah, go ahead and
We do
explain
our
that part.
we do our post conference.
And
After,
you can tell we're an expensive show now.
yeah, we don't have a fancy boardroom or anything. We do ours when we do the post show stuff and tell how bad his part of it was or whatever. But yeah, we do it weekly at the Waffle House. So
That's my favorite
yeah,
spot.
Hey,
that's
Go.
our
you can't beat it.
yeah. So the winner of this little contest that's been going on every show that we do it has to gets no, the loser buys the breakfast
Right.
for everybody.
For everybody.
Yeah.
So having prefaced all that,
Right.
he always says I try to influence anybody. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a second. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to sit right here and dance in the dark. I'll just be dancing in the dark,
Right.
but I'm not
There's
trying to influence anything. I'm not going to influence anything. I'm just dancing in the dark right here because I was born in the USA. So DC, you go ahead with your question now. Let's see who's going to take this.
Right,
I'm not influencing anybody.
Well, guess what? I was born in a small town.
You were, but I was born in the USA.
Okay. Okay. But my house wasn't pink. So there you go.
We see who's influencing now.
The
I mean,
this time is Bruce Springsteen versus John Cougar Mellencamp and whatever other name he's got attached to it.
So you can go with John Cougar Mellencamp, or John Mellencamp, or you can go with the Boss.
Even if
with
the
Boss.
Like John Cougar.
Nope, the Boss always wins.
Okay. So there you go.
Oh, definitely Bruce Springsteen, 100%.
My breakfast is going to be amazing.
That was my first crush as a kid.
Awesome.
My dad used to
have
play
a chance in this then.
my dad used to play Dancing in the Dark when I was a kid, and me and my brother would literally just go crazy dancing and turn off all the lights, and we just go play that whole album and dance to it. And yeah, I still have a crush on Bruce Springsteen too.
And CDC, See,
You're right.
And
DC.
fun fact, Joan Jett's song Light of Day, which she did a movie about, was written by Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, wow.
Did not know that.
Mhm.
I did
Yeah,
not know that.
it's a
So
movie that
Tammy,
she did with oh, I'm spacing out on the name. Um, he was from Back to the Future, the younger Michael J. Fox.
Yes, Michael
So
J.
her and
Fox.
Michael J. Fox are in a movie together, and
yes,
song Light of
I
Day
forgot about that.
is
Yeah.
from that movie. The movie's called Light of Day, but it was
Okay.
written by Bruce
Bruce
Springsteen.
Springsteen. What about that?
And DC, I just wanted, go
Oh,
ahead. I'm sorry, Julieann. Go ahead.
oh, Bruce Springsteen was supposed to play the lead role, but for some reason he had like a conflict of interest. That's why Michael J. Fox played. That's it.
Isn't that something?
That's really cool, though. But
So
DC,
Tammy,
I want it
Dever,
notated.
yeah,
I want it
you're,
notated.
You're listening. She needs to
I,
put that in her third book.
yes, that would
We'll
be
talk
cool.
about that at the end, but
But DC,
that'll
I
make
want it
more sense in a
notated.
little bit.
No influence from my part. Clear
Right.
victory.
right.
So,
Well, I did kick your butt pretty good when we had the Prince.
hey, quit living in the past. Come on now. As we
Right.
say,
Well, I
doing
got
an
to.
80s show.
Yeah, I got to. You know, I gotta because I'm in bad shape on this particular round.
Oh, we're gonna be good. We're
So
gonna
I
be
will
good.
get your third cup of coffee for you.
Good. I'm gonna start with that cup. So that'll be my first. The third
All
will
right.
become the first in the
Okay.
morning. I'll go in reverse order.
Right. I'll accidentally forget my wallet.
So Julian,
That's
you
what'll
can
happen.
see how high budget this actual
it's
show
big time
is.
budget.
So your residuals from this show will be double zero, which is what ours is.
That's what we get. So there you go.
Well, they
Oh
say the
man.
best things in life are free, right?
That's right.
That's what they
Hey,
say.
that's right. And then they saw
I don't know
our
who
show and
says
said
that,
no.
but
I don't know who. I
Right.
don't know. They're messing. Yeah. I don't know who messed that up.
Yeah, after they saw our show, they go,
Yeah.
"Oh, we were wrong. Never mind."
They would
You
have
guys
a
are fun.
change of habit there on. Oh man. Let me go into this as well. Being a talented, to pick up, like you said, learning the guitar like you have, you've got to. Here's my guess: are you an artistic person? Do you do some painting or drawing? Are you good at that kind of thing too? Because a lot of musicians can do a little touch of a little bit of everything like that. Got that talent. Do you
yeah.
like that? Are you into that kind of thing?
So my day job, I'm actually a landscape designer.
Well, there
So
you go.
and I'm
Yeah.
also a licensed arborist. So I do trees. So I design people's yards with plants and trees and landscaping. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I tell my clients when I go out there. I'm like, hey, I'm an artist. I already
There
have
you
what
go.
your design looks like in my head.
Yeah, sure.
Other thespian activities I'm involved in, I would love to break into acting.
That was
Right
my
now
next
I've been
question.
doing a
Yeah.
bit of modeling for fun.
That was
Just
my
my
next question. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I knew you were doing some of that.
Yeah, so I just got my second page shoot done. It's with a
Mm-hmm.
company called Avid Love. They do swimsuits, loungewear, lingerie.
Mm-hmm.
So we all went to Malibu on Sunday to do that. So that was really fun. I love doing photo shoots for fun. I've met a lot of really good photographers
Mm-hmm.
and models, and it's just a completely different vibe than the music scene.
Yeah.
I love doing it. I think the next thing I want to move more into is acting. I used to do theater as a kid and in high school.
Right.
So yeah, I like to do it all. Um,
Yeah.
I love all sorts of artwork. I'm a big artist at heart.
That's awesome.
Two things to add to that. What she was just talking about, folks. You got, and she'll talk about all her socials and all that here in a little bit. But on one of her videos, very creative that she put together. I loved it about how you talked about each tree. You remember what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking
Tree
about, right?
puns, yeah.
Oh my gosh, classic
Uh,
people! Y'all need to see it. It's
so
fantastic. Give them a little bit, yeah. Give them a little bit of detail on what you did.
So my new company I've been working for, they're
Mhm.
called the Standard Design Group in nurseries. They're so much fun. They love to do funny reels on
Right?
Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all that. So we actually, after my shoot on Sunday in Malibu with that company, I dropped by their Pacific Palisades store and we did a little bit of, content making.
Right.
But yeah, so I was I was just walking around the nursery and I see the olive tree and I'm like, hey, I'll live you.
Yep.
It's classic. And she got a bunch of them. She got a bunch of different ones. She just walks all these different trees and gives a little blurb out about each one, and it's awesome. It's good stuff. That's great promotion,
That
by the way.
is.
That's
Yeah,
great
that really
advertising.
is.
So they need to
There's
put you like on the commercial. You know,
we
have you
did
done some of
one
that? Did you?
we did one
Okay.
on Sunday. It should be
Okay.
premiering soon.
There you go.
You
There
know
you
that
go.
trend that's like, I'm a so and so. Of course
Right.
I blah blah blah.
Right.
So I
Right.
did one about landscape designers and
Okay.
my one of my lines was, I'm a landscape designer. Of course I already looked up your house on Zillow.
Right. There you go.
I know how much
Classic.
you paid for your
Classic.
house.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I know exactly what it looks like.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Well, I
And
tell you,
go ahead.
DC and I, we looked into a company, that we were going to start doing some commercials, and they were like, "No, let's keep your faces as far away from the screen as we can. Then you might get some viewers in."
Right,
So,
right. Oh man, but yeah, to go back in the modeling thing, and you said some very talented photographers. That shoot that I seen some pictures of you in the soda shop, those are fantastic.
Yeah, that was a really fun
Yeah,
shoot.
that's a cool that was a cool deal, I bet.
So the photographer, there's two photographers that day,
Hmm.
Ivan and Jack, and we were meeting up with a bunch of other photographers for what's called a group shoot, which is a thing
Okay.
that they do.
Hmm.
But one of the photographers, Ivan, he had booked this studio in LA. It's called Urban Jungle. So they do a bunch of different scenes like that, and we chose the diner. And the
Oh,
other
so it was
model,
not a true diner. Okay.
no, no, it was it was
That,
a whole studio.
oh
So
wow, cool.
one of the
Okay,
other
you
models that
couldn't
I was
tell
supposed
the
to go with,
difference.
Ayana, who I'm
Okay.
now friends with, she wasn't able to make that one, so I got the whole thing to myself.
Wow.
And Ivan had booked it previously with another model, but she couldn't make it. So we got to do that first.
Hmm.
And um those shots turned out really good. It was really fun. I got to put
Fantastic.
their
Yeah.
skates
Oh
on.
my gosh, yeah. It
Yeah,
takes
and
you back to like being in a soda shop. I mean,
yeah.
they did really well setting up all those shots and scenes, and
Oh,
I just thought
oh
it
my
was very
gosh.
well done. Very well
Yeah,
done.
that was my
Yeah.
first time working with Jack,
Okay.
and we've done about 3 or 4 shoots now, and I actually got him
Hmm.
hired at my company working with me.
oh,
Isn't that
cool.
something?
So
Okay.
yeah, kind of like, the creative thing just kind of lays over into the career life too. So I'm
Right.
training him how to be a landscape designer and a salesperson.
Oh,
Okay.
cool. Okay.
But we hired him too because he's got training in CAD design for like landscapes and stuff. So probably gonna use him for that. So
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
it just all kind
Fantastic.
of everything kind of just
Yeah. You meet neat.
overlaps in my life.
Clothes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. And
You know?
like what we're doing with this, you meet neat people, don't you?
Oh, yeah,
Along the way in the
definitely.
journey.
Oh, that's the best part about
Sure it is.
everything that I do,
Yeah.
like creatively. I get to meet so many new people every day,
Yeah.
and I'm just so grateful, for this
Yeah.
experience that I get to do this, Not everybody gets to go perform in front of people
Yeah.
or,
No. No.
even
Gosh, no.
have the guts to do it. So
That's right.
I'm super
What a
happy
gift.
and
Yeah. What a gift.
I
That is
love
Oh,
it.
fantastic.
definitely.
I like to say I'm a Jane of many trades, but a master of fun. Because at the end of the
There
day,
you go.
I
that's
love
all
it.
I care
That's
about. Am I
fantastic.
having
Write that
fun?
down,
Are we having
BH.
fun? Let's have fun.
That's right.
We need to use that as a show motto here. We're the master of
Well, she
none
might
of them,
want
but we're
some.
gonna
Yeah,
have
she might
fun.
might want some money for that though. So
Yeah.
we better watch out
So
on that,
Julianne,
or
we're
give
gonna
her
ask
credit
your
for it.
permission to use that.
Right.
Whatever fees we get in for that, which will be
Right.
zero, we'll double them for
That's
you. So
awesome.
keep 'em low.
I love
So
that.
you
That
get
is a
double
great
zero. You're
compliment.
welcome for that. So
That's a great I love that. Say that again. That was cool.
I
That's a
uh,
motto to live by.
I'm a Jane of many trades,
Hmm.
but a master of fun.
There you go.
Yeah.
Man, is that fantastic? Fantastic. I got to ask this as well before we get into all the socials and where to find you and all that cool stuff. Um, the bee, I noticed it. on your necklace, the
Oh
bee.
yeah.
Okay, and
Thanks for noticing.
I think you have that in some of your names on some of your socials, or one of them at least. I'm just
Mhm.
curious what the attraction to the bee is.
So we're gonna get into sad story time now,
Well, you
but
don't have
it's
to. You don't
okay.
have to.
No,
You
I
don't have
I
to.
love telling it because
Okay.
so in 2016 I lost my best friend
Mm-hmm.
to a drunk driver on a motorcycle.
Mm.
She went on the back of a motorcycle with
Oh,
her
bless her heart.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
drunk and she fell off and she passed away.
Yeah.
Mm.
My best friend Danielle, we used to work at a plant nursery together.
Okay.
And from day one, just best friends. And she loved bees. She was a super hippie chick, and she got a white ink bee tattoo on her back. When you get
Okay.
a white ink tattoo, it's not very noticeable. So she got that so her dad wouldn't notice her getting a tattoo.
Gotcha.
She was 21 when she passed.
Okay.
And when she passed, her dad noticed that she had the tattoo. So I was like, all right, this is a thing. I took it as I need to get a bee tattoo. So I went to my tattoo artist. I got this tattoo right here of a
Okay.
bee.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't tell him any of the story or whatever. I just said I want a bee. And he drew a bee and he put it on me. And then her dad sends me a picture of the tattoo. Turns out it's the exact same shape.
Wow.
And then
And had
so
no idea up front about that. Wow.
yeah, and
That's amazing.
it also so bees and during her memorial, we were in the
Mm-hmm.
church, there was a bee flying around, and there's just been weird instances in my life where the bees will
Wow.
come
Yeah.
up
You
to
can't.
me.
Yeah.
And then oddly enough, when I was in middle school, I was in the remedial class because I was a, you know, I was a special kid. So my math teacher, Mr. Rhodes, he always called me Julie B because my last name's
Right.
Bemis.
Sure.
So then, you know, when I moved to California, I had the whole bee thing going on, and I just needed to figure out a stage name for myself. So I went by Julie B. So
Gotcha.
that's one of my
Wow.
my aliases. But I
How
just
cool. How cool.
she always used to
Yeah.
say, bees are the reason why we exist. If the bees go, we're gone.
Yeah.
So I just I do that to honor her memory.
Sure.
And
Sure.
also it ties into everything in my life, you know.
Mm,
So
mm.
um
And I get that. I get that.
yeah.
I'm an environmental science teacher,
Oh, right on.
so I
Yeah.
get that. When you said that that's kind of her philosophy, it's true. It's true. They got to be part of the whole ecosystem kind of layout. They play like so many other things do. Play so much of an important part. So that's awesome. That is a great story. Great story.
Yeah, thanks. And it's just like, I don't know. I always remember my grandmother when I was a
Mm.
kid, she was obsessed with donkeys. She'd have donkey stuff everywhere.
Okay.
And I'm kind of
Okay.
take after her. I just have bee stuff
Yeah.
everywhere.
There
I'm
you go.
Yeah,
currently
there you
wearing beef slippers.
go.
That's
So
awesome.
I
It
have
meant to be.
That's
That was meant to
classic.
be.
I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
I have it all over my house. I could give you a tour, but I just started
Well,
collecting bee things and whenever my
it was
friends want to get
noticeable.
me something,
Yeah.
they get me
Yeah.
something bee related
Yeah.
and it's
That's
just
such
become
cool.
its own thing.
Own thing. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that you're an environmental science teacher though. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a cool deal. I don't have to go through the dread of trying to teach a chemistry or a biology
Ugh.
or physics or something that and all my buddies down throughout the hallway they do fabulous at what they do. But yeah, that was meant for me to do that because it's so relatable to your real life.
Oh, absolutely.
I can push that on kids, and I think it sticks with them a little bit. That this is like, oh, okay, yeah, I can walk right out of this
Right.
school and see some of what you just talked about, and that hits realistically a little better to them. That you're
I
affecting your environment. Our environment's everything around us. So yeah,
absolutely.
it's a cool course to be a part of. It is for sure, and
And
I'm blessed to be able to do
you
that
need to
for
take
sure.
care of it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that you're
Yeah,
out there
yeah, that's
spreading the
cool.
good word.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I noticed little things like that. So like the bees and that's just cool stuff. I wanted to ask you. That was one of the key questions I wanted to ask tonight because on several things as I did my research,
Right.
I noticed the bee kind of, it just was. So that is
Yeah,
an
it's very
awesome,
present.
awesome tribute, and I know she's proud of that. Absolutely, absolutely
Yes.
tickled with that. That is fantastic stuff. Yeah. So you mentioned one of the upcoming gigs that you have. Now, is that out of state? Is that out of state? That particular one?
The one
Is
on May 4th on Saturday is at Lake Arrowhead. It's at the Tudor House,
that's in
put on by,
California though?
yes, in
Okay,
California.
because I'm not familiar with that. Okay, okay,
Yep.
all right.
Yeah, it's gonna
Have you
be
done
really
any out of
fun.
state stuff yet?
Not yet. We're hoping to get that going.
Okay,
Yeah.
Well, DC, you're going to have to use some contacts, and we need to get them here to Nashville.
we need to
I'm
do
down.
that.
I've never
Mhm.
been to Tennessee
Oh, you'd
before.
love it. You'd
Oh,
I
love
if
gotta
you
go to
ever,
Nashville.
I
There's
want to go to
everything in
Dolly World.
Nashville.
yeah, if you ever come to Tennessee, you won't want to leave.
Yeah, yeah, it's a great
I've
place.
heard great things. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know some people from Tennessee and they say great things and I have to go to Dolly World.
right.
Yes,
I want to go see
and
Dolly
you
Parton's
know,
house,
the
like her
Right,
old house,
right,
and
right, right,
want to sing
there,
my Tennessee Mountain Home because
there's like
right.
three things you have to do when you come to Tennessee. You have to go to Dolly World, you have to go to the Grand Ole Opry, and you have
yep,
to be on D&D Dynamite.
Right. So she's knocked
That's
out
the
one of
three
the
things.
three.
So yeah, I
I'll
mean,
be there. Give me a
top three.
show.
Right.
We would
No,
love to
what's
we would
so
love to play out
amazing
there.
about the time here now, um, there is just so much to do and so many
Yes.
different genres of music. They're known for country music, of course, but
Oh,
there's so much more
there's
here.
everything now.
There's everything here now, recording wise.
Yeah,
It,
Tennessee's the hub for music
yeah.
nowadays. Like most
Well,
musicians are going to Tennessee,
that's
to
right.
Nashville,
That's
you know,
right.
regardless of their genre. I've
Yeah.
considered it, but I like California.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds
Well, you're
wonderful.
closer to the beach as you rubbed in a
Yeah.
little bit
Yeah.
earlier on.
Yeah. I wouldn't leave either.
Yeah,
I live
But
no.
in Oceanside. It's amazing here.
oh man,
I pay
yes,
I pay a lot to live out here though.
No, I
God.
would see it
I
definitely.
believe it. I believe it. We mentioned that to some. We had a actress on 3 or 4 years ago, Susan Reynolds,
Yes.
and she she lives kind of out on the outskirts, close to Beverly Hills area, and we went into joking mode that DH, you and I couldn't afford a doghouse in that subdivision, let
Hey,
alone living in a
we
house.
we were even willing to be cast in a movie, and if I remember
Well,
correctly,
she said no.
she first she
I don't want
said
to bust
no,
your
and then
bubble, but no, I don't
she
think
said,
that's
well,
for
we could
y'all.
put you on a park bench as two old men that really couldn't
We could
remember
do with
anything,
no
just kind of
speaking
said,
parts.
yeah,
You could do that. Yeah.
no
Hey,
hair,
there are
whatever.
no small parts, only small actors, right?
Right. Well, I don't fit
Another
that
good one.
bill
Write
either.
that one down,
So
DH. That's another good one.
yeah.
Write that
Hey,
down.
but unfortunately, neither one
Uh,
of us fit as a small
no, we
actor. We're
don't
not.
fit into any of that. Oh wow. Oh wow. No, that's fantastic though. Yeah, we Kid Rock's here now living full time, I think.
Isn't Jack White out there?
Yes.
Yes.
Another big influence of
Yep.
mine. I
Yep.
love the White Stripes. Oh
Yep.
my God. If I could play guitar half as good as Jack White, I'd be I'd be set.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
He's amazing.
Yeah. Mick Mars, I think, is here, or at
Yep.
least has a house here. Is here
That's
most
from
of the time.
that's from
Motley Crue.
Motley
Yep.
Crue.
Yeah,
Yeah. I love that
retiree.
movie, The
Yeah.
Dirt.
Oh,
They
absolutely.
did great with that.
Yes. Yes. Uh, who else am I thinking? DH.
DH lives here.
Right.
You
Yay.
know,
The
I mean,
famous
come
And
on.
DH.
I mean, look,
DC.
Oh,
you know,
yes. And Tommy Shaw from Styx. I
yes.
knew I was going to see them this summer. I was like, what's Tommy's last name? What's Tommy's last name? So, yeah, Tommy Shaw's here all the time, I think, as well. So, yeah, amongst, I'd say, a bunch of more that I can't think of right off. But, yeah, point being, it is a great place with a
Oh,
lot of
definitely.
large variety of different
Definitely.
people here.
We don't have an ocean, but we do have a river. So there you
You
go.
have Dolly Parton.
Right.
Right, which is
Dolly
better than an
Parton.
ocean.
That,
Yes.
Right.
That's
And you
all
can
Better
go
you
than
see
need.
Elvis Presley's mansion. We got Elvis
done.
Presley's
That's
mansion right down
true.
not very
Done.
far from us as either. So there you go. So we're all amongst some music stuff here. We
I'd be
can't
down
do
to
a
go.
lick of music other than turning it on, but there you go. Which is ironic enough. You live in the music city, but you can't play any music other than just on the radio. Correct.
Yeah, and we
That's
struggle
correct.
with that at times, right?
Yeah, we mess that up sometimes too. The vision audio stuff. So
Oh.
yeah, but hey, other than your show on the May 4th, what else is kind of out there?
June 29th with the Mood Lifters. They're a tribute to
Great
Rush
name.
with
Yeah.
Rocky. July 5th, we got booked at one of the 80s bars in Fullerton, which is near LA. And then
Wow. Okay.
August 17th at the Gas Lamp in Long Beach. And then we're still booking. Let us
Awesome.
know. We
Gotta
can
ask you this
more
too.
shows.
Gotta ask you this. Would it be one of those check marks off your list to be able to play the Roxy or the what's the other famous one there on the Sunset Strip that everybody's played?
Oh, Whiskey a Go Go?
Yeah.
Yes.
How about that? Is that
So
something, or is that not a big deal?
honestly, those plays, I don't know about the Roxy. I can't speak for the Roxy, but the Whiskey a Go Go is a pay to play venue. So anybody can play there if they're willing to pay for it.
Them.
And
Man, do they have the wrong idea?
Right.
I guess
what
they can do that. Yeah.
so I'm
I
not
did
really
not know
one to
that.
it's not on my list, nor is it something that I want
would
to
not have
support.
it on my list.
No.
Some
I'm
bands
not
can
paying
do
you
that
to play in your
because
business.
No.
yeah, so like that's the thing. Like it's kind of it's almost better to be a band in a city not like California because you can get paid more for your shows. And I just one thing that I have noticed that a lot of places want you to sell tickets and you get paid based off of how many tickets you sell. Or you have the pay to play places, which you could do that if you're going to sell merch. So you pay them to play there and then you make your money back by selling merch or bringing a big crowd in. Not my thing, you
I don't
know.
blame you.
I had
There's
an
enough work in trying to perform.
Yeah, I had an original band as well, and we were a punk band, and one booking agent told me, he said punk doesn't pay, and he's kind of right. It was really hard for me to get. I was promised $50 for a show one time for one of our sets, and it was like pulling teeth to get $50 out of the venue owner when they're making thousands of dollars from people coming to the show.
That
So,
is absolutely nuts. That's crazy.
that's what I say, like, I've come to terms with it. Like, we have a minimum for our band, and we're okay with playing one or two shows a month. We don't have to play every night, every weekend, as long as my bandmates are getting paid and we're all having fun. We ask for pretty much a minimum every time, or if it's with a band that we like, or if it's for charity or something like that, we're happy to do it. But yeah, Whiskey a Go Go, that would be cool, but
it ain't cool. It ain't
I'm not
cool to pay for it to be there.
I'm not trying to sound arrogant or full of myself or anything, but as a musician and with the time and money and that I have
it's
put
a lot of
into
expense out of your pocket. Sure.
my training, I just would never I've invested too much in myself and too much into my band to just pay to play somewhere. It just doesn't it doesn't make any sense to me.
That don't make
And maybe if we're a more well-known band, and we had a lot of merch to sell, or we had we had like a tour manager or something like that. Like they can do that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, like I remember my old bassist, he always used to say, like, I don't play golf. So this is my hobby. This is what I do for fun, So we're having fun. This is what we do.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
My bandmates, all of us have, lives outside of music. This isn't our only gig, and we make time for this because it's important to us. But also, I'm not going to stand for, something that just isn't right. That it's not okay for the venue to charge people to play there.
Very good. Very good. Well put.
Yes, I agree 100%.
Shout out all of your socials.
Oh,
Before we get you out of here, we want to make sure we hit those for sure.
sure. Thank you. Yeah. So on TikTok and Instagram, my personal one is Julieanna B. That's JuliannaBeee. The social for Jett Headz is now at Jett Head Band. We recently decided to take the Z off, so we're just going by straight Jett Head now. That's a new thing. We're gonna have new
Okay.
merch
And
soon.
I thought I had picked the wrong one when I was trying to match up to share
We,
something with y'all.
that
I was
was
like,
that was a
oops.
mutual decision between
Okay.
Adrian, the drummer, shout out
There you
Adrian,
go.
and I. We decided that we just wanted to go by Jett Head, so
There you go.
we have a new Facebook page up as well. I think if you just look up Jett Head, we're there. We're also on YouTube, Jett Head's music. If you just look up Jett Head, you'll find us. We're pretty easy. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I've hit all of them.
Awesome. Folks,
Thanks so
please
much.
check them out.
Yes, definitely.
Fantastic, amazing artists that they are. And if you're in the California area, we need to buzz out there. We'll get on a jet and buzz out there if we get the money to do that someday.
Yeah,
From
come
the
on
show.
out. California's great.
So we'll do, yeah. If we're
Yeah.
in that area, we're going to definitely look you up.
Oh,
yeah,
definitely.
We'd love to see you here in Nashville. And if you do get this way, please holler back at us and let us know that you
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
If you got a good venue for us to play at, I'd love to come out.
Yes.
I definitely
There
on my
are-
bucket list to check out
There
Nashville.
are several of them. So
Yep.
we'll we'll definitely give you a shout out for those.
yeah.
Hey, we appreciate it. Can you stick around and let us close out before you take off?
Absolutely.
All
Thank you
right.
so much for having me, DH.
You're
and
more than
DC,
welcome.
and
Thank you, Julianne.
been
We
a fun
appreciate
time.
it. And ladies and
Great.
gentlemen, it's that time of night where I have to put on the bifocals to read this part. So yes, there they are.
Don't mess up where we're
Yes,
at.
I
'Cause
can't
people
hardly
need to-
see.
we
I
need
mean,
we need the viewers.
I think I'm just so excited about my free breakfast tomorrow morning, DC. I just,
Right.
Julianne, thank you for that. Yes, Waffle House. I'll be rocking in. I'll be dancing in there in the morning, getting ready
Yes,
for that
you will.
breakfast. So
Yeah,
You gotta
you'll be-
dance
you'll be in a
Springsteen,
good-
though.
Yeah, you'll be
yes,
in a good mood.
I'm gonna put it on the jukebox as I come in and get some
You
spruce
would.
going.
You would rub that in on me. Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for another episode of D&D Dynamite 80s. We would like to thank Julieann for joining in and everyone out there that was joining in. Not sure what happened on TikTok, folks. We apologize, but TikTok shut down about 5 minutes ago. DC, I sent you a message on it. I don't know what went on. I
It's
don't know if it was
probably
a
you that
TikTok
messed it
or
up. You
no,
know,
I
it
was just
us.
monitoring. I was just
Oh, okay.
monitoring, so it was all good. But
Sorry
remember,
about that,
folks, even though something like that happens, there's always ways to see D&D. You can find us on Anchor, Spotify, Breaker Radio, Radio Republic, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, on the TikToker most of the time, except for the last 5 minutes.
Right.
Facebook, on our website, Google Podcast. Also, I want to give a shout out. Nashville Voyager magazine actually did an article on D&D Dynamite 80s.
Man, they needed some press time.
Yes, I mean,
They
hey, we
needed something to fill
appreciate it.
that
Yes,
magazine.
but we were glad to do that.
Yeah,
And
we were glad to do that.
the
We
biggest
appreciate 'em.
announcement we've made in a while that we shared with everyone, what, I guess 2 weeks back, DC?
Think so.
You can now find us on Canyon Star TV, which is a
TV.
free
How in the
platform.
world did we get this show on TV?
Well, here's
what
what
magic did
happened.
you work?
Here's what happened. I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you the whole story. Okay. So I got this call that there was a shortage of scarecrows for farmers this year that they needed in the field.
Right.
So they needed to be able to get instant pictures from their TV they could use in the field for scarecrows. So
Yes.
there's not much more scarier than this. So, we're good.
There we go.
So that's how we got on there.
Yeah, we're blessed. We're blessed.
No,
to be
we
a
are
part of
very
that
blessed to be
family.
a part of Canyon Star TV
So
family.
check them
And
out. That's a free
yes.
subscription to you. And
Yes,
you can find a
and-
lot of cool old movies and all kinds of cool old TV shows and us.
Yes,
We're on
and
there,
us.
too.
Yeah, a couple of old people on there too. So it all
fall in that
all
category,
matches
too.
up. Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
that's
so
how
look
we
us up
fit
under,
in there.
You got it, the podcast section.
Yes, we're there. But folks, as I always end off before I throw it over to DC, and he'll give us some updates. First off, let me say, DC, you talking about being blessed, man. We are booked out in through October now. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
I'll be taking November stuff here
yes,
in the next little bit.
shortly. So,
Crazy.
folks, as I always end off before I throw it over to DC, and everybody kind of tunes out when he starts talking, but that's okay. We
Sure.
won't say that.
That's all right.
First off, any complaints, send them to DC. He's the complaint department. Any good things, send them to DH. I take care of that side
He
of
gets
it.
all the compliments. Yes.
And folks, as I end off every week, remember it doesn't cost anything extra to be kind. So always be kind to each other. DC?
Amen. Amen, brother. Before I give us the updates, let's get the sponsors. We don't
Let's
put
do
those
it.
fine folks in real quick.
Let's hear it.
DND Dynamite 80s would like to thank their sponsors, Hudson's Flags and More, The Nesting Project of Smyrna, Tennessee, PJG Marketing, Totally Cool 80s, and the book series, Charlie Bubbles. Check out all these great folks online. Hey. Check out Charlie Bubbles.
Yes.
Yeah. Our buddy actor Paul Karafotis. You'd know him from All the Right Moves.
Yes.
Vinny, the Vooch.
The Vooch. The
He's a
Vooch
great
is in
guy.
the house.
Yes. So anyway, he's been in a bunch of stuff. But anyway, great guy, started authoring children's books. So if you go to charliebubbles.com, they provide books to kids that can't afford them. So you can get on there and buy a child's book, and they'll get it out to a person that needs that. What a fantastic nonprofit organization he's got going. And we are tickled to be a part of helping advertise that for sure. So do that.
Definitely.
Some upcoming, my friend, next couple of shows. We got the New York Bee Gees. We're going from 80s back to 70s.
Yes. Hey, that's
The New
okay.
York
We're
Bee
staying
Gees,
alive.
the tribute
Staying
to the
alive.
Bee Gees. We'll be on a special show. That's special night, May 6th. So that's the upcoming Monday. These guys wanted to get on that particular week because they're going to play the TPAC, the
Yes.
Tennessee Performing Arts Center here in Nashville.
So, folks, get your tickets now.
So, yep, they still got tickets. So we're going to hook up with those great folks. Then we have on May 8th, Lillian Norodowski. She was one of the regular TV teen members of that show that we used to watch on the U.S. network called Dance Party USA.
Yes, that was your
So,
Friday
yeah,
night
she was
date,
one of those
wasn't it?
right. So she was one of the regular members on that show.
Yes.
Trivia. Do you know who one of the other regular dancers on that show was?
I do. Not me.
Correct.
See, I'm good.
No.
See, there you go.
Kelly Ripa.
Really?
Kelly Ripa was on that show.
Wow.
So there
Okay.
you go.
Impressive.
So Regis and Kelly, I think who is it now? Kelly and her husband, I think, do that show together now. So there you go. So, so we will catch up with that and her and see how cool that was to be a teen on a TV show in Philadelphia weekend.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. So, and then the big news, May 15th,
yes.
Ivan Dorashek, the lead singer from Men Without Hats.
Yes, a little safety dance
yeah, a
going
little
on.
safety
I can't
dance
wait.
going.
I'm excited.
So we'll have Ivan. Yeah, we'll have Ivan on May 15th, brother. We got a lot of going on.
Yeah, it's busy.
Just booked the drummer from Europe.
Yes.
So we'll have a little final countdown.
Little
going.
final countdown rolling.
So big things for the show, and we appreciate everybody that gives us support, and that's awesome. Julie, all the best to you, Julieann.
Yes.
We appreciate you being on. All the best. Be safe in your travels. I hope you'll come back on the show and let us catch up with you in the future.
Absolutely. I'd love to. And thank you so much for having me.
Fantastic.
The best with the
Anytime.
podcast. And yeah, if you want me back on, let me know.
Oh,
Okay.
definitely. Look, and that's the cool thing, because now you can mark that, and I
On
know
your
it's
list,
number one,
but
but
you've
it's
done that,
you've
yes.
done that now. Yes, number one with two
Right.
zeros instead of a bullet. We'll go number one with two zeros.
Right.
It's all good.
Right. Please, and let us know anything, and we'll do our best on our end to do this.
Yes,
But
to
anything that
send
you
it out.
post, we'll try to push it on out there for you as well. Any
Oh, that would be
advertisements and
great.
stuff.
Yeah.
We
More-
try our best to do that with all our guests because you're part of the family now, and
Aw.
we want to do that for you. So Best
two
to you. Best
are
to your
too kind.
bandmates.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
It's a
All
pleasure
right.
being on. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Thank
You're
you,
more than
Julieann.
welcome. As
Have a
DC
great rest
always
of the
kind
night.
of ends the show, keep playing those 80s. We'll
See you next week.